And we are live. We are live. Hello, Ashley. How are you? Thank you for joining. You know, they say the early bird gets the worm. So, hi, family. Hope all is well. This is going to be a good one. We're going to be talking about health and wellness, and particularly in the Black community. We know that we as Black people face a lot of the things, right? The high blood pressure, the sugar, you know, heart disease. So, we're going to talk with an expert who creates natural products that are really, really good for us. And I mean, I myself am an avid supporter of this business. So, we're going to get into it. Just going to wait a few minutes, waiting for him to join. And we'll wait for a few more people to come on. It's going to be good. It is Friday. I see you down there, Anthony. See you down there. Just waiting for a few more people to join. And then we will get started on a Friday live streaming. Hello, Ashley. So, as I was saying, in the Black community in particular, we have all of the things. We suffer with high blood pressure and diabetes and heart disease and obesity, and they seem to be really, really high in the Black community. So we need to talk about this. Why is that? And what is it that we're doing or not doing? What do we have to do better? How, we know about all of the main things, which is diet, exercise, but what else can we do as it relates to what we put in our body, right? So this is why I'm excited about my guest today. His name is Anthony Pereira, and he is a physiologist, but he's also the owner of a wonderful company called A Plus Smoothies. And they make the most amazing stuff, all natural. I mean, I myself am a purchaser of it, and actually I'm going to show you one of the things that I consume on a regular basis, which is this pumpkin seed powder, and it is so good. I make smoothies with it all the time. I'm actually enjoying one right now during this live. You know what? I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to bring Anthony in and we're going to get started. Hello, Anthony.
Okay, good evening, good evening. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, as I'm enjoying my. Ashley wants to know what the name of it. Here's the name. I'm going to tell you, it's A plus. I'm going to type it in for her. Well, there's some sort of background noise. Are you outside or something?
No, it might be.
It sounds like. Oh, there, that's good. Was it a fan or something?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Let's get this party started.
Okay. How's the visual on your end? I see. There's a visual.
Yeah, you look good. You could
Okay.
be a little brighter, but it's okay.
Okay.
We
I
can
guess
see you.
okay. I just have to smile a little bit more, you know?
Yes, as they say, right?
Yeah, get some black illumination going on.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, Anthony, thank you so much for joining.
Mm,
I know we had a little back and forth before we got on. So, again, there was a little confusion, but it's okay. We made it. We're here. We're good. We're ready to start. And so, as I said, Anthony Pereira. Hey, Dion. Thanks for joining. Good to see us on the big screen. He says he sees us on the big screen. That's great.
okay.
So family, as I was saying before I brought Anthony on, I was saying, we as Black people, we have we are in the highest percentage of all the things, right? The high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, heart disease. We're always at the top of the ticket. And so I thought it was a great idea to bring on Anthony Pereira, who's a physiologist, and we can talk about what is it about our community? Like, why are we always at the top? What are we doing and not doing? What do we need to do better? And then also, Anthony is the CEO, founder, owner of A Plus Smoothies. It's a health and wellness company. They create the best stuff. As I said, I am a supporter. I invest in his products. So we're going to get started. So, Anthony, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I am, of course, the owner of A Plus Smoothies. Plus smoothies because it's too smooth to be a smoothie, right?
I
Um,
like that.
I am a clinical physiologist, so I focus on orthopedic research. So I more so deal with the physical realm, where I focus on restorative care. But it doesn't really matter what you're doing, whether or not it's for restorative care, whether or not you're looking at excelling, like your activity, trying to live well. Nutrition is the cornerstone for all and everything. And if your nutrition is required, there's going to be some particular type of belt adaptation. And so, like, let's say, for instance, I'd be doing like a session with my patient or client base. What I would notice is that you a lot of individuals would not be supporting their internal while they're working, on their external to do better. So just in general, I'd be asking them, so what do you have for breakfast this morning? What did you have? What are you gonna have for dinner right after this? Because they're training for a marathon, or they want to basically like recover from a severe back injury. Right.
Right.
Well, again, it's just normal tidbits. Whether or not it's basically, hey, drink some more water. Or, hey, do you think that you should really be having, Cheetos and coffee like every single morning before you do it? Right? And so nutrition and like dietetics wasn't really in my wheelhouse. I knew a little bit here, I knew a little bit there, but the one common thing that I did feel is that people, when it came to the nutrition, they can always do better. They were either they were okay with their nutrition, or they're like, you know what, ugh, I don't want to talk about that right now. It's like, okay, well, I know when people mention food to me, like I smile, I shine, right? And so it's like, okay, so I can't really fix everything, but what I can do is like, maybe I can offer you, there's a couple of nutrition places down the street. And the reason why it's so nutritionally clean, right? So you can get a lot of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients within a smoothie, and they're very easily customizable. So that's what I would do. So if you would come in and you said, "Hey, I'm preparing for the winter season. I want to, I want to go skiing. I'm going to do the skiing escapade, and I also want to strengthen my knee." Right? I'll ask you, like, are you basically fueling yourself and such? Whether it's before the workout, whether or not it's afterwards, whether or not it's fueling yourself heal. And if you weren't doing that, again, going to give you a recommendation. Then I'll create the smoothie company or decide to hire a team of dietitians, nutritionists, and a macrobiologist. to help me come up with the particular basis because I want to be dietically sound, dietically excellent, so that whatever it is that basically they were ingesting would have the affectation that it is that we wanted and needed. But that was quite easy. But it wasn't about just basically offering them something that was diegetically sound. For me myself, I love food. You know, me and I'm a greedy belly kid. You know, food makes me happy, and so it's food that has to be palatable. If it's not palatable, or if it's not, you know, like delicious, then you don't really look forward to it. It's obligatory, and I think that's the same thing with food, right? It doesn't really matter whether or not, you know, like it's a recommendation by me, a nutritionist. I don't think that basically saying, don't eat this, don't eat that. What do? You're not supposed to eat that. Don't eat this, don't eat that. Most people eat for joy. Most people eat for love. And so when you're taking that away, you're taking away something intrinsic. And so for me, I need to make sure that whatever it is that we were offering was not only effective, but it was palatable. So it only took us 6 months to create this, but it took me about 2.5 years to actually perfect the actual palatability or the taste of the particular product. Because if it tastes good, people are more likely to, right, come back to it. And coming back to it leads to consistency. When there's consistency, then there is efficacy. When there's efficacy, it leads to motivation. When there's motivation, it leads to more, and that essentially leads to food. And that's what's happening.
And you're so right when it comes to food because, I mean, even from cultural standpoints, food is like, you get together, it's food. I know for me as a Ghanaian, that's the thing. When we all get together, food is the thing. Food is fellowship. Food is part of the social event, is food. So I'm a food lover myself. And I have, my own set of like sensitivities when it comes to my gut. So, and that's another one of the ailments that's high in the Black community. So, my question to you is, with you creating these wonderful smoothies that are chock full of things that have all of these health benefits attached to it. What are you seeing that is the most pressing health concerns that face the Black community now? I know I said a few. Do you agree with those? Are there any more that you see come across your way?
Yeah. So, one thing that basically I didn't get a chance to impress was the fact that, when I did this, I not only wanted to basically like help people, like better their nutrition, but I also wanted people to really understand, overstand, and experience, right, the power of whole food. And the power of whole food is basically, like whole foods, whole veggies, things that come directly from the tree, ground, and bush. Because if you look at, like society today, we're in a state where, like everything is fast, everything is immediate, everything is processed, everything is grab and go, everything is in a box, everything is in a bag. And so, literally, whether or not it's our community or basically people in general, we're walking around modern day malnutrition, right?
Right.
The foods that we're eating are very highly processed. We are organic. People say, like we're made of organic material, we're soil, what I mean, to dust we return and whatnot. We are the same chemical composition of the ground and soil, right? The same ground and soil that it is that we're supposed to get our nutrients from. So again, whether or not it's basically fruit or veggies, right? How much of us can sit or consume 4 servings of fruits and veggies per day? When's the last time you ate 2 or 3 servings?
I can't even tell you. I mean, I know I have fruit every day, but it's
Mm,
once.
right,
So I'll have like I usually have like a mug size of like mixed fruit. Like I'll do mango, pineapple, and then I'll do berries, and sometimes I'll throw in some apple. But it's once. Like
right.
I may eat an apple in the middle of the day or something, but it's definitely not. Health Canada says that you should be, the serving should be every day. I'm not even close. um Dion Way, did I spell it? Did I pronounce it right now? He says, I know our community needs to leave those pig intestines alone. That's for sure. Is that the one that they call chitlins? I know that's something. I think it's in the United States. It's called chitlins. We don't want that. No.
Man. Well, again, like going back to it, um, so again, the thing is I don't know if you guys remember, but like, back in the days, like there was this thing called, like a Canada Food Guide. And when
Yes.
Canada Food Guide, it's actually pretty daunting because it's like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to get in 4 servings of that, 5 servings of this, 4 servings of this, 3 servings of that.
It's not even
Right,
humanly possible. It's just not.
right, right. But what I did learn though, the reason why they put that in there is because quintessentially, that's the amount of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that you need to actually consume on a daily to keep your body in what we call proper homeostasis or proper balance. And the thing is that basically without balance, there is an affectation. When there's an affectation, if there's an imbalance in the body, you will be able to see that in 2 different ways, either through signs, things that basically you can see, or that basically you can exhibit. So maybe it might be the skin, maybe it might be your weight fluctuating up or down, and then felt symptoms in regards to energy. Felt symptoms being like hypertension, like diabetes. So I call it God. Some people call it whatever. But God for me basically put, on this earth fruits and vegetables being balanced with our particular bodies. Being for like natural energy because it's carbohydrates or sugar, and those give you natural energy. Whereas leafy veggies, right, and veggies basically help you digest all and which that it is that you eat. So again,
Yeah.
in those trace minerals, vitamins, and nutrients, we're supposed to eat that to keep us balanced. And when we were younger, especially our particular community, right, like we were told to eat like a lot of like green banana, dashi, berries, what I mean? Like this stuff like brown food provision. What I mean? People will call that provision and stuff like that.
Yam and all of those things.
Yeah, and those things are, when you look at it, they are mineral and nutrient dense. But
Yes.
again, let's fast forward. Let's fast forward and just be like, hey, that was then, and we're talking about this, and we're talking about the what ifs and the what ifs and the what ifs. But how do we basically do that? It just means that whenever we do make a choice to eat, or at least a few times per day, try to have something that's neutrally dense, because
Yes.
the nutritionally dense that we eat is the more that we're going to give back to our body, the more that we are going to have a balance. If you feel out of balance in any particular way, shape, or form, first thing that you should do is look at the diet. Are you feeding your body? You're fueling your body for your normal day to day, or even for your activities, or even for the purposes that you have. Okay, so again, nutritionally dense, anything from the tree, ground, or bush.
And that leads me to my next question, because
Mm-hmm.
your products are made from all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you share um, some of the products that you have to address some of those ailments I mentioned, which is like high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease? And, let me just preface by saying nobody is saying that, if you have these ailments and you're on a specific medication, stop, because, that's a consultation you should have with your doctor. We're just merely, I guess my purpose here is to highlight the importance of natural foods as opposed to, as you said, processed foods and stuff. And that can go in lockstep with whatever you're taking to bring your blood pressure down or regulate your blood sugar. And you'd be surprised at how these things can help. So, are there any specific products that you want to share that address those health concerns?
Well, while I've got the ear and the attention of the people, again, my vision and my reason for doing this was not exactly from a business perspective. It was supposed to be a service, to be a practitioner. And I truly believe in like reach one, teach one. And if I basically bring about awareness, right, especially if it is easily digestible, haha, pardon the pun, then basically people will take that and apply it. So for me, again, the reason why I went with whole foods is because there's so much power in whole food. Again, take for instance, if you're looking at greens, right? What are greens good for? Don't ask me, right? Ask your ancestors. Ask like how much different particular studies. Ask people that don't even have access, like to news or to particular computers and stuff like that, and they'll tell you what greens are good for because it's universal, right?
Right.
Good for natural energy, right? It's good for digestion, detoxification,
Yep.
okay? It's good for small bouts of iron as well too. You
Yeah.
look again like you look at berries. Berries are good. They're great for antioxidants. They're great for blood flow. Okay. Look at mango, right? Mango is good for the integumentary system, skin, nails, hair, and teeth. Look at magnesium. What do magnesium-rich foods do for you? Magnesium-rich foods are good for headaches, cramping, sleep, muscle relaxation, anxiety, stress. Keep the vasodilated because calcium, which is essentially the opposite, provides action potential or contraction, whereas magnesium does the exact opposite. So if it basically does the opposite, it basically relaxes as a relaxation internally and externally. So basically, three things that happen specifically for blood vessels, right? When you open up blood vessels, it causes heart, aka those with like high blood pressure. So again, my particular goal with A plus smoothies was to take the best version of coffee and deliciously perceive it. Then when you're basically eating greens and you're like, ooh, this chaotic, it tastes so nice. Ooh, I want one of those. Oh, by the way, do you know that greens are great for natural energy? Like, ooh, okay. Really, what am I gonna get next? Am I gonna get the mango? Am I gonna get the berry? No, don't ask me. Don't even ask yourself. Ask your body, right? Because you need a mango, you need skin, hair, and teeth. Or do you need a berry for more antioxidants? Or do you need it for more added blood function? Okay. So that was my
Um,
behind everything.
I've got Sophia is saying she's having a hard time hearing you. Do you want to adjust your mic? I think there it is a little bit choppy.
Yeah, I hear feedback on the end on that end. When I'm
Now
talking,
that you're closer, it does sound a bit better.
yeah, I've never hold on a second.
Do you have a headset maybe or ear that maybe that might help?
No, I was actually going to try and use my cell phone, but I thought the laptop would have been better because I do hear feedback, and I don't know what the feedback's from. I'm not,
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
um, goodness.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go over to Dion again, who says, I don't do medications for my health. Had a discussion with a nurse about that. High blood pressure? No, not me. It's called stressed manipulation. Love it.
Yeah, I'm hearing feedback from this.
Yeah, I hear that
I
too.
just thought it was on my end because I just thought it was on my end. Sorry about.
Do you have something else that's on in the room? Like is your
No, that's the
phone on
thing.
at the same time?
No, usually with
Because that's
feedback,
what usually makes that happen.
yeah, usually with the feedback, that's what it is. Hold on. Okay, what I'm gonna do, yeah, this is the first time for me using this platform. So I think what I'm gonna do is actually, I'm gonna see if I can just quickly
That's what happens sometimes with live. You experience some technical difficulties. Please stand by. Family, I'm wearing my glasses today. I know I'm looking rather studious. I just want to make sure that I can read everything that the family is saying in the chat. Do you want to, should you maybe use your phone? Do you have a,
Yeah, that's what I'm actually doing right now. I'm gonna use my cell phone. Um,
okay.
yeah, maybe again, it's just
Oh, yeah, then you'll have to definitely, let me add you, and then we'll have to get rid of this one. Say something so I can see if I hear you.
testing 1 2 3.
Oh, that's much better.
Okay,
Oh, much better. Okay, we're rocking and rolling now.
okay, so let's get back to it.
Let's get back
Um,
to it.
okay, so I think where was I? Um, we were discussing. Oh, the fact that, like with me using Whole Foods is the reason why I wanted to use Whole Foods is because of the fact that, again, there's, it's not our smoothies that are magic if it basically helps you. The thing that's actually great with it is the fact that we are actually just presenting the benefit of what whole foods do for you in a delicious form. Because if it's delicious, then you're more likely to stick with it. And
Of course.
that's where it is that I think that we have the most success. You asked initially in regards to Black people in general, right? And going back to it or whatever, two big things that are basically plaguing us heavily is like high blood pressure and diabetes, right? So when you're looking at something like high blood pressure and diabetes, um, you know, a lot of that stuff is, comes into play with having like low iron, low magnesium. Now, why is that the case? So, as I mentioned before, with the high blood pressure, for instance, right, there's more constriction or more pressure on your arterioles, your venules, and of course your heart, right? And so, to naturally open that up, you do magnesium, right? So, even though we're a smoothie company, a lot of actual people know us and have experienced us more profoundly from our pumpkin seed powder. And why did I go after the pumpkin seed powder? The reason why is because remember I told you about ground food. Doesn't
This is
matter
it,
whether or not
family.
you're looking at again Edos, yam, green banana, fig. You look at them and they're going to be vitamin and mineral rich, right? And so again, the pumpkin seed has 35% iron, 20 grams of protein, 90% magnesium, 50% zinc, which now, as you can tell, or as you can basically look at all the studies that are coming out, how important zinc is for cancers, right? Whether or not it's breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, right? The combination of magnesium and zinc are incredible, not just for addressing, but even for prevention, right? So again, one all natural ingredient, right? That basically you can integrate into your daily life. But it doesn't really matter whether or not I tell you to go get hmm, magnesium, or whether I tell you to go get iron, or whether I tell you to basically go get calcium. If it's not consistent, then there's no efficacy. It doesn't matter whether or not you're looking at nutrition or your exercise goals, right? Or any particular goal in general. It needs to be consistent. But as humans, because we are emotional, if we don't enjoy it, then it's obligatory. If we are enjoying what it is that we're doing, then there is affable consistency where we don't have to worry about it. So that's why I sit down and I look at, the smoothies are great, but how often can you afford to basically buy a mango smoothie or a green smoothie or a chocolate smoothie like every single day? Can you do that? Maybe you can because maybe you spend your money elsewhere. But what happens or whatever when you can't afford that? Or what happens when you move away for 2 months? How do you keep consistent? That's another huge reason why I keep my products very, very simple. Why? So they are accessible and affordable. All of our ingredients, you can either get them from your local grocery store or your local bulk barn, and you can make it yourself. Sorry, it won't be as delicious as ours, A plus, baby. But at the same breath, in the same take, if you feel the positive affectation from it, then what are you going to go do? You can replicate it yourself. And so that's why the smoothies are great. But the smoothies are a great they're a great they're a great gatherer. They lead people in. They attract people. But what keeps people the most is definitely, our pumpkin seed powder. And the reason why, again, is because of the high iron, the protein, magnesium, and the zinc. I want to talk to you guys about two things. If you guys don't remember two things, two vitamins and minerals and nutrients that are extremely important to get, right? We already talked about the first one a little bit, but I want to go back to iron. One out of every three women in North America are iron deficient, whether or not it's periodically, whether or not it's systemically, or gestationally. Okay. Now, why is that? Okay. There's a number of different reasons, right? I'm not talking specific. I'm talking about general, blanketed, in the sense of, like, number one, the first thing is that, well, because of your monthly cycles, right? That's number one. Number two, anything that basically you're low on, anything that basically needs work, needs what? It needs consistency. If
Yeah.
there is no consistency, then what happens? Right? Then there is no efficacy. Okay? If
So
there's no
with the
efficacy,
pumpkin seed powder, um,
hmm
I have it, and I I try to take it every day. I actually have one right now that I'm sipping on. Um,
hmm
you guys, it's so good. Honestly, like it has a really nice nutty taste to it. So I usually have it with fruits. Like I'll put some mangoes in, some pineapple, um, and some almond milk, and a little bit of a fruit juice, like either pineapple juice. I have acid reflux, so even some fruit I can't. Like I can't eat oranges. I can't eat citrus fruit. So I there's only certain fruits that I can get away with, you know, using. But for somebody who has acid reflux, which one of your products would you say would be good for somebody like me with acid reflux?
Okay, so again, I don't want to basically focus on the product too tough. I want to focus on getting down to to the actual quote unquote, like, base problem or issue, where you got to neutralize your stomach acid pH. I'm not talking about neutralizing it to 7.4, because it'll be alkaline and you need your stomach acid to actually be acidic, but it can't be too overpoweringly acidic, because if it's too over acidic, that's where you're always getting the reflux. If it's not acidic enough, that's where you get bloating. So something that's going to neutralize that. So it's good stuff like ginger, lemon, right, is really, really great for that. Okay, so you can go into the kitchen, whip up your stuff or whatever, and you'll basically start to notice a difference, right? Now, again, if everybody has like a little teaspoon in the morning every single day from a proactive perspective, meaning that you're doing it to basically, be healthy. If you have an issue or a problem, what do you think you need to do? For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. So that means that you
Right.
need to take more than the average individual, right? Until it is that your symptoms subside or recede, then you go back into a proactive state. So one of our particular famous ones is, everybody knows about our ginger turmeric shots, right? And the reason
You,
why people love our ginger turmeric shots is because, unlike most, again, just like with everything, if it's not palatable and if it's not good or enjoyable, people will not stick with it, because without sticking with it, there's no consistency. Without consistency, there's no efficacy. You're going to hear me talking like this, like a broken record throughout, but those are basically tangibles that you cannot negate. Okay. So again, we have our ginger turmeric. Now, for people with tender tongue, you know who you are, and you can't do it too tough. Then we have our cherry pop, right? Our cherry pop is milder. It does not contain the turmeric, right? People with high blood pressure, or people that are on, let's say, for instance, blood thinners, they should not be taking turmeric, right? Or on medications like warfarin, they should not be taking turmeric. So instead, we use, again, cherries. Cherries help replace the turmeric, which is a strong anti-inflammatory, right? Which is great for, inflammation of the gut, inflammation of your joints, your muscles. Oh gosh, my back. Okay, there you go. Right. So cherries are great anti-inflammatory as well. It's not as strong, but it's still going to do the job for you. Okay.
I eat cherries every single night.
Okay. And cherries actually have a nice relaxation effect,
Yes, it
right?
puts
So
me
it's
to
really
sleep.
great for when you're finished, when you're finished a workout or whatever, right? It really helps relax the muscles, right? It has a particular enzyme in there as well too. So if you want to try a mouthful of cherries that go pop, that's why it's called a cherry pop.
That's
Yeah,
the my
cherry
next
pop.
investment is the cherry
Yeah,
pop. So,
yeah, cherry pop.
you talk about people doing it themselves, but I know for me personally, if I were to go to the grocery store and buy all of the ingredients and come home and make it, eh, for me personally, I would rather just buy it,
Mhm,
from A plus smoothies and spend my money there. And then I have it all ready made to create my own smoothies. So I wanted to ask you if you have any success stories or testimonials from customers who've benefited from um, your products, just off the top of your head, like somebody who was dealing with an ailment and once they started taking, investing in A plus smoothies, it made a difference in the way that they felt overall. I'm not suggesting it was a cure or anything, but just their
mhm,
overall well-being, the way that they felt.
mhm. So my primary motivation is the affectation of the success, and the good thing is that I have like mini success stories like almost every single day. And again, I attribute that all back to nature, right? Nature is so wonderful. But the thing is that you have to, again, just take advantage of it. And the other thing is, like I said before, is that if you have it in its proper state, you have it in its therapeutic state. That means that you have enough. So again, if you want ginger to help you, you can't just put a little touch of ginger. You have to have a therapeutic amount. So that's why we focus on the efficacy of our particular products, right? And then as well too, if you're doing it consistently, you will feel it. You will feel it. So again, I've had so many different people come back or whatever like that with the greens. Oh, I'm finally regular again. Oh, I finally got off the coffee again, right? Oh, I've started drinking this or whatever like that. And they said, yo, your smoothies are magic, eh? My skin is looking blessed. No, it's the power of the mango that you're drinking like every single day. But one of the best ones, though, and one of the most important ones, especially being that, like I have a daughter. She just turned 8. Hi, Alyssa, if you're watching, Daddy loves you. You know what I mean? Like again, one out every three like women have like low iron, right? So again, when I started seeing the affectation that the pumpkin seed powder was having on, like women in regards to there's so many testimonials. I don't know if a lot of you guys know Julie Black, but she did a
Yeah.
huge testimonial on the fact that basically in like 20 something years, she was not able to lower her increase her iron. And finally, after taking the pumpkin seed powder, it helped her. Right. And again, it's just by taking it twice a day, and it was just all natural. How many women I've known that basically are in menopause, struggling,
That would be
struggling,
me, Anthony. I'm in
struggling with night
menopause.
sweats, struggling
Yes.
with it. But again, it's about or whatever like that, the consistency. The secret, again, when it comes to stuff, especially like again, the pumpkin seed powder, is its palatability. Me, I won't have the pumpkin seed powder in fruits. I don't like it. But you know what I do? I put it in what I like. My daughter puts it in what she likes. You put it, that's why the pumpkin seed powder is so neutral. It has
Yeah.
like no particular taste, it has no chalky flavor. So that
No.
way I could put it into water and honey. You might
Oh,
put it
nice.
into your favorite coconut milk and almond water. You might have your bowl of cereal or your oatmeal every single day. Or you know what? Daddy, Daddy has to have his dumpling every single morning. No problems. You can make your dumpling with it. Because again, nutrition is about love. Stop taking away from people. What you do is you bless which it is that they already love. You increase the health and you decrease the guilt.
That's
That's where true affectation
beautiful.
is going to come in. Right.
And so with the dosage, like, because again, hey, for the
Hmm.
people that just joined, we're talking with Anthony from A Plus Smoothies, and this is the pumpkin seed powder that he's talking about.
Hmm.
And I live for this stuff. What is it? 1 cup or is it?
1 cup. Oh gosh, no. It's
I'm a
two.
little overzealous. I'm like, I'm
No,
putting the whole cup. I think I do like
no, it's 2 tablespoons
two
into your
tablespoons.
for a therapeutic amount in liquid, right? But I always tell people start off with 2 teaspoons, and the reason why is basically just to get the texture and the taste. Once you start putting that in your tea and you're loving it, you put it in your coconut water. My favorite, okay? So my favorite is in coconut water. Coconut
Ooh,
water
that
is
must be
just
nice.
so
Now, do
bless.
you just
You're
stir it in
getting your
or do you?
electrolyte. I know I put in a shaker cup because I'm always on the go.
Okay,
So I shake it up and I go. Right? I like the pumpkin seed powder shaken, not stirred. You know what I mean? On some black
that's
James Bond
nice.
things. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
have
So
to try it
basically,
with the coconut water. I
yeah,
never thought of that.
another blessed way or whatever like that, especially for women
Yes.
again, that basically for the iron and the magnesium, nighttime, put some hot almond milk or coconut milk on the
Oh my
stove,
goodness.
throw in 2 cinnamon sticks, shave up your nutmeg into it, have it.
Hey, family,
Iron
are
will
you
absorb,
hearing
the
this?
iron will absorb overnight, and the magnesium will help you do what? Sleep.
Please.
Okay. Also help with the restless legs, also help with the particular night sweats as well too, because it's balancing off your levels. Men, do you know that in the last 5 years, across the board, 400% our testosterone levels have dropped because of the foods that it is, which it is that we eat, okay, that we don't eat. So again, the combination of iron, zinc, and protein naturally boost your testosterone. Okay. So again, one all natural ingredient. I didn't have anything to add to it. All I basically do is give a voice to what nature or God has already bountifully provided. Mhm.
Wow. So you literally have answered so many of my questions in this one, what you just said, because I was going to ask, what advice would you give our audience regarding preventative measures for common health concerns? And you literally just named off testosterone, you named off menopause, you named off,
Mhm.
sleep deprivation, like you just inflammation. And
Mhm.
tell us about some of your other products. I mean, we talked
Mhm.
about pumpkin seed powder. I'm going
Okay.
to pull up your website too so people can
Okay.
see.
So while we're doing that, I did get sidetracked a little bit and I didn't get a chance to basically talk about iron enough. Okay. So iron is so quintessential. So the reason why iron is so quintessential is because iron, it enhances your life liquid, and your life liquid is, of course, your blood. Okay. And your blood is responsible for two major um two major goals. Number one, of course, absorbing your vitamins, minerals, and nutrients and transporting it to where it needs to go. And more importantly, the opposite, which is right, eliminating the excess toxins or the excess nonsense and junk that's within your bloodstream. So the excess salt, so you don't get hypertension, the
High
excess
blood
sugar,
pressure.
where you don't get diabetes, right? Because it's not sugar that basically is not your friend. It's resting blood sugar. It's when your sugar is not being metabolized. Want to hear something funny? Most people that are basically scared of like, sugar and diabetes and stuff like that, they don't realize that actually carbohydrates, ooh, are almost worse, right, than actual sugar, because it's when the sugars and the carbohydrates are not being broken down and utilized, that's when it results in resting blood sugar. So, what does that mean? Change around your diets, people. What is sugar and carbohydrates good for? It's good for natural energy, right? So, whether or not it's our products, whether or not it's basically something that you're ingesting, only eat them when you need energy towards the end of your day, especially if you have a problem or issue with metabolizing sugar or risk for diabetes. 6 hours before you go to bed, you should not be ingesting any starchy carbohydrates or any particular sugars unless you are going to use it, whether or not it's basically an activity or whether or not it's basically you still have the rest of the day or the rest of the shift to go or whatever, right? So again, I'm not telling you to stop doing this and stop doing that. Small, tiny changes. We're not right because again, you don't want to upheave your life. You don't want to be walking around depressed. So I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. We already have too much obligations. So just switch a couple of things around. Okay. So I just wanted to impress upon that very, very importantly. So look at the amount of iron and look at the amount of magnesium that you're getting. So whether or not it's our product that you want to try, we're on Amazon. You can order through Amazon. You can order through our website. Sorry, you can order the pumpkin seed through Amazon, right? So it doesn't matter if you're in the U.S., China, Trinidad, wherever you can order, and we got you. And the other products or whatever we deliver throughout the GTA, or you can come visit us in Mississauga for a shot party, so you can experience everything as well too. We have a full lineup again of whether or not it's fruit and veggie smoothies, right, to give you natural energy throughout the day. We have our shakes. We are vegan and gluten free, right? So again, nutritionally neutral. So whether or not you're a vegetarian, whether or not you're a vegan, whether or not you're religious, whether or not you don't eat nothing with that face, you know what I mean? So again, at the end of the day, we got you, right? Our shakes or whatever are viable meal replacements. Oh gosh, how much there's so much calories? Why is there so much sugar in this? Well, that's because it is a meal replacement. So it's basically meant to give you energy and to replace it. And the sugars and the carbohydrates come from dates, which is equally as high in fiber. People basically really need to start understanding and overstanding things more as opposed to just rhetoric or repeating a sentence that they hear, right? Same thing like with organic and stuff like that. Those are basically just statements. You need
Yeah,
to really focus
catchphrases.
on these
Yeah.
things, right? As opposed to, and how does it apply to your particular situation, right? You're scared of sugars, but yet you're boxing off beer whole loaves of bread and big bowls of
I
rice,
love bread.
right? Okay, but that's what I'm trying to say is that there's a
But
lot of
guess
people
what?
out there. Go ahead.
I found
Hmm.
from Farm Boy
Hmm.
bread that's made with pumpkin seeds. No, sunflower seeds.
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah,
really light. So
yeah.
I'm always looking for healthier alternatives as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, I that bread is really good. And it's in the bread and they have
Right.
like seeds along the crust of the bread.
Right.
So
So you're making healthy choices. So Ezekiel bread is another good one, but still, even if it's healthier, nutrition comes down to what does your body require at any given time, and what do the foods that you ingest do for you. So just because it's healthy, you cannot eat 3 apples after dinner. Why? Because it will contribute to resting blood sugar. Just because the bread is healthy, it does not mean that now you can have 4 or 6 slices. Does your body need those particular carbohydrates? Right?
and
So
also
that's
the
in regards
portion.
to getting again, portions come down to what your body requires, what your body
Yeah.
needs, right? Because again, for me, if I'm going to be basically, again, my diet changes according to my activity. If I'm going to be more dormant or more sedentary, I'm not going to be eating so much. If you work in a warehouse all day and you're basically doing construction, your diet should not be the same. You should not be getting the same serving as your daughter. You should not be getting the same serving as your wife. You should be eating according to your lifestyle. Nutrition, what does your body require at any given time? And what do the foods that you ingest do for you or provide for you? If you do not know this information, start looking at this information, whether or not it's through, the power of the internet, whether or not it's a practitioner. You can reach out to me. This is actually what I started the company for. This is who I am. This is what I do, right? Send me a message, send me an email. I'm always here, whatever like that, because at the end of the day, you need to overstand your situation from a personal perspective, i.e., awareness. That's actually what the A in A plus smoothies stands
Listen,
for.
I need one of these shirts in my life, okay? Um, so
They're
family,
coming.
I've dropped
They're
the
coming.
website in the chat to A Plus Smoothies and tell everybody else where they can find you before we close off. I think it's important that everybody knows where to find you.
Mhm. So it is A plus smoothies. So it's APLUS, so A plus, and then smoothies. Sorry, is SMOODEES.com. A plus smoothies.com. On Instagram, it's A plus smoothies. On Twitter, Facebook, same thing, right? And again, you can order off the website. You can get it delivered. So I've been talking for a little bit, so my throat's a little bit dry. I think I need a smoothie.
Right? With
Yeah,
coconut water.
exactly. You can come visit us in Mississauga. We have like satellite locations where you can just drop in and pick up a 1-2 smoothie in Bowmanville, at Dream Markets. We're up at Evergreen Academy in Vaughan. We're basically at Burlington Fine Food Markets, Mary Lou's. You can walk in and grab a number of different stuff. And then also, like I said, we deliver directly to your doorstep. Okay.
Except for in Niagara.
Well, again, so with the Niagara, we can get you the pumpkin seed powder. So our pumpkin seed powder, you can ship to you worldwide, right? But the drinks, because they're fresh,
Right.
you know,
Totally.
but something's coming very soon that we will be able to get you some goodness as well too. So in the new year, please look out because I'm going to be launching a Kickstarter and a fundraiser for the next evolution of A plus smoothies. We're looking at sustainability, innovation, right, and of course evolution. Okay, so A plus smoothies 2.0 is coming.
Oh, I'm already excited. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna go to the comments here and read some of these. Authentic Sophia said, "Your stuff actually tastes amazing and gives me great energy." Oh,
Okay.
that's great. I agree. Whenever I have, so my routine is I'll go work out in the morning, and then when I come back home, I'll have a smoothie with the pumpkin seed powder. And that really helps just because listen, by the time I'm done working out, I'm like, I just, I'm like, I'm dying right now inside. So it really, really helps me. It gives me energy as well. So I agree with Sophia. And
Mhm.
Dion says, I get a hard time trying to set up some funding. Oh, I see. So he's saying that Canada should be in connection with US cash services. That's true, Dion. I know in the United States you have Cash App, and we don't have that here. We just have PayPal, and then we have something called e-transfer where you can literally send us money to using our email address, which is connected to our bank. And I don't think they have that in the United States, which I wish you did because it's so much easier. Um, and people that are in there, if you have any questions for Anthony, let's drop them in the comment field, and he'll answer some questions. I personally, like I said, where I don't remember how I came about you. I think it might have been at one of a market or something, and you were there, and I got a small packet of the pumpkin seed powder, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need this in my life. So I don't live
Mhm.
close, but whenever I'm going back and forth in that direction, we stop in Mississauga. And that's where I got my 2-pound jug of this pumpkin seed powder. And you said consistency, which is exactly what I'm going to do, is be more consistent because I don't have it every single day. But now you just gave me some ideas. So when I'm out of fruit, like I'm out of my frozen fruit or whatever, I'm just gonna have it with some almond milk. You know,
Yeah, and check out our IG page. We are going to be launching our holiday deliciousness contest. So that basically is for all our bakers, our cooks, our chefs, people that love being in the kitchen. Get your recipes ready because if you make a recipe with the pumpkin seed powder, submit it to us online. And what you're gonna do is that every week we're going to basically do like 4 to 6 different smoothie recipes, whether or not it's baking or drink or like whatever it is that basically you did with it. And then people will vote for their favorite one of the week and you'll win a prize for that. And then after we'll basically do whoever the winners of the week is with the winners of the month. And we're going to do that for about 2 months. And the grand prize winner will win $500 in gift certificate, a featured page in our recipe book, and also free pumpkin seed powder for the year. Again,
Whoa! Did you guys hear
okay,
that? I am so entering that
yeah,
contest because I bake.
yeah, okay,
So
let's
I'm
go,
gonna
let's
make some. I'm
go,
entering this contest for
let's
sure, and
go, let's
I'm
go.
super competitive. So I'm gonna be about this
Let's
life.
go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
go.
go.
This is great, Anthony. I mean, again, I feel like we should do this again. Like we need to do some follow-ups so that
Yeah.
people can continue to know who you are. As I said, I dropped your website in the chat. So and
Mhm.
then I'll definitely follow up and we'll share this content, and everybody that's on the live, definitely share this content. As you heard, Anthony says they ship to the United States. Obviously not the drinks, but the pumpkin seed powder, which to me is beyond. Like, if anybody wants to try something for the first time with A plus smoothies, I highly recommend the pumpkin seed powder. Like, you
Mm.
got to invest in that. And I used to get those whey proteins, those whey proteins, and I would get vanilla flavored and chocolate flavored and all that stuff. And then I learned later on in life that I was lactose intolerant. So here I was taking in all this, and I was like, why do I feel so gassy and bloated every time I have this protein powder? And then, I ended up getting these tests done and found out that I'm lactose intolerant. So then I'm looking for vegan based protein powders. And then they have those ones like, what's it called? Vega or whatever. And those tasted like, I'm sorry, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, but I personally did not enjoy those. So I completely got away from protein powder. I was like, I give up
Right.
until this came along in my life. And I'm like, every single chance I get, if I forget, because sometimes, you get up, you're working, 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 this is the one.
Right. So I want to
And
leave you guys with just two things really quickly. If you guys go visit our Mississauga location, two things. Always go there with about 15 to 20 minutes to spend. Why? Because my staff is going to greet you. They're going to line up shots of everything that we have in the cafe so you can try it. And then as well too, you can also get a free sample of our pumpkin seed powder to take home and use as well too. Okay. Number two, a big outreach thing that basically I want to add. You guys could probably tell I'm in here, I'm doing this for the awareness. And two things that are really near and dear to me is basically, again, bringing awareness to more people that I can reach. If I'm very, very, very intertwined with the church circuit up here. If you guys have churches, I will basically come and do a free sip and learn seminars. I do not charge churches for this at all. I come there, I do my thing, I bring samples and stuff for people or whatever like that. But again, that's my give back. So anybody that basically knows or wants me to basically come through and do that, just basically send me an email, send me a DM. This is what I love and live for. I also do a lot of corporate sip and learns as well too, where again I come in and I bring like a liquid lunch for everybody, and we do sip and learn. So that's what I do. Again, to bring people more direct awareness, and I really do see um, uh, Emma and I doing some more lives and stuff like that because the message has got to get out there. So whether or not it's reaching out to Emma, reaching out to me, what topics do you guys want me to speak on? What topics or whatever like that are really, really like hitting home or impressing. And if there was something in here that you want me to touch more on, just DM me, email me, or whatever, and I have no problem, like helping you from that particular aspect. And yeah.
yeah, Dion, it's Ontario, Canada. Yes. I should tell you, Anthony, I have a lot of subscribers from the US, which is
Mhm.
why I'm really strongly suggesting, the protein powder, because that's one of the things that can be shipped, right?
Mhm.
So I stand by this stuff. It is amazing. And yes, family. Next time it's going to be live, like in person, our next live stream, where I'm going to be the one doing the sipping.
Let's
I'll be
go.
doing the sipping.
Let's
And
go.
let's go. So we're
Let's
definitely going to do
go.
it in-house next time. Anthony isn't we don't live that close to each other, but I still felt like it was really important to introduce everybody to Anthony and A Plus Smoothies because he's doing wonderful things. You just heard him. Listen, going out in the community and doing things pro bono, there aren't a lot of business owners that do that. Okay, so that's amazing that you're giving back in that way. I know a church, so I'll be letting you know about that offline.
Hooray.
And we're definitely going to have to schedule a live. Dion said it was really nice to see you, Anthony. Um, so, we appreciate you. We appreciate you and everything you're doing. I know I, for one, am a lifelong customer. Like, you can't get rid of me if you tried. I am not, as soon as I get a little bit low, I'm coming back for another pumpkin seed. And, last time I didn't pick this up, but I'm going to be going this time because I want to do the lineup and I want to spend 20 minutes in there doing my little sampling and sipping.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be coming.
Oh, and you can refill. Sorry, you can refill. So the pumpkin seed powder is $60 for a 2 pound, but you can basically come and get it refilled. Bring in the empty container. You get it refilled for only $45. You get a free smoothie and 2 free shots as well too.
Oh my
Why?
gosh,
Because
come on.
of the consistency aspect. And again, I'm trying to help people because if food is not accessible and affordable, it's harder to maintain consistency.
It's true because if you think about it, I know like people that are on food stamps and things like that, you look at their cart and they've got potato chips and cheese balls and cheese strings and muffins and cookies and they're just getting and the processed food like wieners and all of those things that are inexpensive and easy to make for their kids. So you're right, a lot of people, especially now, the economy, and it's chaotic right now, especially in Canada and the United States, right? So groceries expensive.
Mhm.
So, if you when you can't afford it, you go with what you can afford. And oftentimes the cheaper stuff is the stuff that's not good for you, right?
Right.
Like Dion said, exactly. Processed foods, horrible,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know.
And one more jewel just to drop for you guys. So I just want to make sure you guys are getting, what I mean, you're watching your viewers worth with this. I want you guys to try this out, okay? Start integrating more whole foods into your diet, whether or not it's snacks or whatever. So as opposed to having like whatever, like cut up grab some Ziploc bags or grab some Tupperware or grab some glass containers. Go on a Sunday, spend an hour while you're watching TV, chop up your favorite fruits, chop up your favorite raw veggies, go to Bulk Bar and buy a bunch of different nuts or whatever like that, have them in your bag. Start having those as your snacks in between. And what you're going to start to notice right away, you're going to actually start eating less. Your cravings are going to become less. Why is that? Because you're already satiating yourself with vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. Cravings happen when your body needs vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, doesn't know where to get it from. Why am I telling you this? Because if you're going to be doing less eating, ah, you're going to be saving money. So it actually balances itself out. Invest in the fruits and the veggies and the nuts, and you're going to save your money from spending all these processed food items as well too. If you only have the chance to eat twice, make sure that you're doing that. Same thing with your kids. If you know that basically they're out eating this, out eating that, at least give them a bowl of porridge or at least give them a bowl of cereal with the pumpkin seed powder. So you already know that they've gotten in 100% of their vitamins and minerals and nutrients.
That is actually really true because I'll tell you, when I have this smoothie, like my protein powder, my pumpkin powder, I'm good for like a little while. Like I literally am not feeling hungry. So I feel like all of those things that are in here, it says 50% zinc, 90% magnesium, 35% iron, and 20 grams of protein. I don't feel, I feel full, so I'm good. So I at this point I find I'm only eating twice a day.
Right. So yeah, man, about Whole food is where it's at. Whole food is definitely where it's at. Whole food is where it's at. Mm, yeah,
Anthony, we appreciate you so much.
good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, to everybody watching, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for engaging with us. As Anthony said, you can follow him on Instagram, A Plus Smoothies. And it's, is it PLUS on Instagram? It is, right?
Yeah, so in the spelling, like on websites and stuff like that, it's going to be APLUS, but the actual name is A plus. So it doesn't matter. Even if you were to put in A plus, it will find it.
It'll pop up.
Yeah. Mm.
I am enjoying my smoothie. Tell you right now, it's
Good to
so
hear.
delicious.
Good to hear.
And
Good to hear.
so thank you so much, Anthony. And again, thank you, everybody. Make sure you connect with him. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And
Hooray.
we will do this again live. And it's going to be a time. So tune in. I will make sure that I promote it ahead of time so you'll know when to tune in. And we'll be at A Plus Smoothie Shop and we'll do the whole sampling of everything.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, everybody. I just want to thank you so much for watching, for following and supporting and whatnot. Stay blessed. You know what I
Stay
mean?
blessed,
Yeah.
everyone,
Stay
and we'll see
blessed.
you
Stay blessed.
again.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.